All right, let's get to Karl Rove. Karl joins us, the former senior advisor to President George W. Bush, also a Fox contributor. And I will point out, as I go to Karl, that you had an op-ed yesterday that appeared in the Journal on the Mueller report, basically encouraging the president to move on. And I thought it was interesting to see maybe how challenging to some degree that is with the news this afternoon, right, that the full Mueller report with redactions will be released, we think, here in the next few weeks. The president saying, and I'm quoting him here, yeah, I have nothing to hide, there moments ago. What'd you make of that?
Yeah. Well, look, I think the president's entitled to a victory lap, but I thought he, ironically enough, I put my column to bed at about 5 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon, and later that night on Hannity, the president, in essence, mirrored what I said in my column. He said, he was asked by Hannity, so what should we do to make certain that people are held accountable? And the president, I think, rightly said, I'm going to leave this up to Attorney General Barr. I have great confidence in him. And then I leave it up to Lindsey Graham. I have great confidence in him as well. And look, the president's voice is really vital. If he wants to advance his cause, sure, go around and sort of have the victory lap. But the focus has got to be on what people care about. And what people care about is more than the investigation itself. They're sort of over with it.
Right.
There was a Pew poll, top priorities for Trump and country this year. This is a Pew poll. Number one, with 70% of everybody saying that it ought to be a top priority, was the economy, health care, 15 items. None of it had to do with the Mueller investigation, nor, interesting enough, climate change. But the number one issue for the Republicans and Republican leaners, the people he's going to be depending on, terrorism, followed by the economy, followed by Social Security and immigration.
Yeah.
Number 4 was the military. 5, reducing crime and so forth. So he got a lot of things he could talk about, and it's going to be important to be talking as much as he can about.
Well, the two things, if he's pivoting, the two things that have come up this week, one is health care, which, you know, some of his own party have criticized him there, say, hey, that's not the right way to pivot. And the second one is obviously, and we saw it today, we just saw it now, is immigration. It's clear, it always has been with this president, that he wants to focus on that issue. But he did, as Melissa said, made some news by saying a moment ago, it's a very good likelihood, in his words, that I'll have to close the southern border next week.
Boy, I bet in a lot of plant managers around America this afternoon, when they heard that news, they reached for their, for a glass of water and a couple of aspirin, because our supply chains that are so interwoven between Canada, the United States, and Mexico could be terribly damaged by that, and it could really hurt the economy, particularly at border states like the one that I live in, Texas, where we are intensely dependent upon cross-border trade, both for American exports and for the importation of items that are necessary for our manufacturing process.
So that could backfire, in your view, possibly, because of economic concerns. What about health care? Same thing there. Is that an issue if you go too hard at it, if you're the president? Could backfire as well?
Well, it could if you don't have a plan. Look, I'm of the mindset, I've been long of the mindset, that Republicans need to have plans to do that they can lay out to the American people for incremental improvement in our health care system, so that people say, yeah, I feel better about it. Things like association health plans. Allow little small businesses to join together to pool the risk to get the same discounts that big boys get. Allow people to save more tax-free for their out-of-pocket expenses. Transparency in pricing and outcomes. We need to know what it's going to cost when we go to the hospital and how good they are at it. Those kind of things, it's important to do. So I'm all in favor of Republicans doing that, but you got to have a plan.
Yeah, that's the lesson.
Yeah.
You got to one thing, right? Get to replace. Yeah.